Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Nicole. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. Today's video, or this video, is going to be me answering some of your questions that you guys have left on a couple of my videos, mainly on my video back in September when I started in public accounting. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer you guys' questions. Hope you guys enjoy this video. So let's get started. Thank you guys so much for the comments, by the way. I really appreciate it. For those of you guys who watch my videos and comment, I'm so happy that I can help you guys out. So Fergie Wang asked me what city was that video in. I am in Houston. That was downtown Houston. That is where I currently live and work. Jay Khan asked, how do you like being an accountant? I love being an accountant. Obviously that's what I went to school for. And as you know, there are different types of accountants, and I am an auditor, and I love being an auditor. I love getting to solve problems. It's kind of like solving a huge puzzle for a client, and like kind of being an investigator at the same time. So it's pretty cool. And he also said, is there too much math in it? Not necessarily. It's not like calculus or anything like that, but obviously you need to know basic math, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, because you are, you're adding money, you're making sure that money is there as it should be. So a lot of your calculations is just dealing with money. So the basic math you do need, but it's not anything like super difficult. Every once in a while you're gonna run into things but that's for the client. That's up to the client to explain. But currently in my level, I haven't really experienced any hard math beside like addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. Jay Khan asked, are there too many laws and rules to remember, and is it too stressful? So there are rules and regulations and laws that you have to remember, because obviously you're a client, and when you're doing the audit, you need to be following GAAP, like the general accounting principles, and you need to be following you need to be following the rules of the accounting board and all of that. Like, just need to make sure that everything is in line. So following like the generally accepted accounting principles, making sure that things are aligned with the PCAOB as they should be if your client is public, and things of the sort. So following the correct rules if your client is public or private. So it is stressful, especially during busy season. It's stressful because you're working long hours. You're literally doing stuff that will take you normally like a lot of time. You're doing it in crunch time. Like you're analyzing things that will take a whole year. You're analyzing that in just a couple of weeks, especially depending if your client is an accelerated filer. Like my busy season client was an accelerated filing client, so we were on crunch time, like deadlines, and then trying to get things back from the client. Sometimes the client wouldn't cooperate. Sometimes you would not understand the client's work, or they would do stuff and you're just like, what in the world are you guys doing? Like, do you even know your jobs? Kind of thing. So it does get stressful sometimes, but it is fun as well. You're stressed out only during certain times, or if it's a new audit that you don't know anything about, then you're stressed out. Alicia Wilson said, congrats on your new job. Thank you. Tasia Thompson said, yes, outfit, congrats on your new job. Thank you. Sure Jan asked, she said, can you give us updates on what it's like, what kind of things you learn, the kind of work you do? So it isn't a walk in the park. There's days that are going to be challenging, especially when you're new and you're still learning. Like your first 2 years, you are really there to just learn and absorb, up until you become a senior, where then you start leading more. But like as a staff one, I was training also interns, and I was giving some work to interns. So easy things that they could do, but you start like teaching and training others like early on. So as a staff one, I was training interns, but also learning a lot. So you go in, it's not a typical 9 to 5. Depending on your team dynamics, it might not be a 9 to 5. Like you can get out anywhere between 6, 7, 8, 9, depending on what's going on. And especially during busy season, you're leaving, like the earliest you're gonna leave during busy season is like 9 o'clock, but you're mostly leaving like 10, 11, 12. You learn a lot about the engagement. You learn a lot about the client, how the client operates, how the client's financials work. You learn about the different members and directors of the client, who's in what role in like finance and accounting and things of the sort. And you audit the client. So that's the kind of work that we do. We audit, checking that their financial statements are good, making sure that they're in compliance, making sure that they're all, like we test controls, making sure that all of their controls are passing, or if they're failing, we need to document that, and making sure what they're reporting to their shareholders are indeed accurate. Mick Jakes one asked, hey Nicole, do you need perfect credit to be an accountant? From what my understanding of your question, perfect credit in terms of like your personal finances, no. Obviously if you have like horrible credit, I think that might not give you the offer, just because you are given, like at least with my firm, we were given a credit card where all of our expenses had to be run through our credit card, and then they just make sure like when they reimburse you, you just pay back. But I don't think so, because they hire a lot of people coming out of college and not everybody has good credit. As long as you are working towards fixing your credit, you should be okay. And if you're saying credit in terms of school, like you need to have 150 credits for you to work in public accounting before you can start. So that's for sure. Alyssa, I'll write it below, but it's ALXSSA. She just said, I got a full-time offer at a mid-tier firm for auditing, and she graduates in May. Congratulations. And she's going to be starting in August, and she's going to make videos as well. So go ahead and check out her channel. I look forward to seeing your videos, Alyssa, and good luck with your new firm. Clara May, she just said that she loves my videos. Thank you. And that she's starting out in school for accounting, but she has a long way to go. You're going to make it through. Don't worry. We all get through it. Thang Tran says, can you share your experience how to land an internship with Big Four and your interview questions with them? So I do have a video. I'm gonna put it up here somewhere onto how to land an internship with the Big Four. But depending on what school you go to, usually they have recruiting season at different times of the year where they're recruiting, but most recruiting happens in the fall, because there are schools in Texas, I know for sure they do winter internships. So you go to work for them in the winter time, which is busy season. So from January through March, at least with my firm. And then the next round of recruiting is for summertime, but that also happens in the fall. So you can do winter internship or summer internship, which is from June through August. And I went through recruiting in the fall time. I went to the career fair at my school, and I was kind of scared to go meet with the Big Four, and I think I just went up to their table, like to my firm's table, and just got like one of their goodie bags. I don't even think I gave them my resume, and then they gave me their, like, I think they asked for my resume. I gave it to them, like, not expecting anything, and then they gave me their card, and then I got an email to go online and complete an application for the internship, which is what I did. And then I got in through like a minority program. However, just go up to them at your school's recruiting events and career fairs and just go talk to them, and just be yourself ultimately. And usually the interview questions, they just want to get to know you. They're like standard interview questions. Like, they ask about you, they ask about your goals, how did you find out about the firm, and they just want to get to know you to make sure that you're a good fit. And then I flew out to Houston for my office visit. Yeah, so like I got the email, and then I had a recruiter that used to always come up to my school because he's a Penn State alumni, and then he asked, like, they do office visits, so that he asked me like which city I wanted to work in. So and I put down my top 3 cities, and then Houston had an opening. So I got flown out to Houston for my office visit and my interviews, and my interview consisted of me meeting with a senior manager and meeting with a partner. They just wanted to get to know me, to see if I was a good fit, and they deemed me a good fit. And then at the end of my interview, I got the job. Like, I guess if they fly you out, it's because they want to hire you. So just be yourself. Denise H says, I really want to be an accountant, and I'm excited to dress like you. Thank you. And hopefully you make it through, and I know you'll be successful. Mason Brown, she commented on one of my videos and said she'd like advice on college, like how to get through college and when's the earliest time. She said, I'd love more advice on stuff like getting through college and when the earliest time will be to get a job in accounting while I'm going to school. So definitely an advice I'll give to you in terms of like the job part is go to your recruiting events. And some firms have programs where you can do 2 years of internship, sophomore year and junior year, but definitely by your junior year or senior year, get an internship. It's easier for you to get an internship because you're familiar with the company, and when and it's easier for you to get hired that way. So you do an internship, they like you, they want you back, and then after you graduate, you can start. So I will tell you, definitely go through the internship route. Billy Covilla asked me in one of my other videos, like, when I talk about sampling, what exactly am I talking about? So you do samples, like when you're doing testing, you're testing samples. So you can't test the whole entire inventory. When you're doing inventory counts, you're testing a sample, which means you're testing like a certain amount. It's usually 25 to 30 that we do, that's our sample size, because we can't, like, if you have an inventory of over like 1,000 things, you're not gonna go and count 1, 2, 3, 1,000. Like, no, you pick a sample size and in different areas for you to test. So that's when I'm talking about sampling, I'm pretty much talking about that. And he also asked, is it worth getting your master's in accounting or getting an MBA in general? You don't have to get a master's in accounting. You can always just get your 150 credits. like for me, I was on track to get my master's, but I decided against it to save me money. So I just took classes through an accredited community college. So I went to the Texas Accounting State Board to check the requirements that I was missing. Because I moved from a different state and I wanted to be licensed in Texas. So I was able to take my classes through Houston Community College and Lone Star Community College because they're accredited in Texas. So just go to the website of the state you want to get licensed in and then check which community colleges are accredited. And then since your school is accredited, you can just always take the extra classes. You can always do summer semesters or do an extra semester and just graduate a little bit later, but you can have your 150 credits instead of doing a master's. And then you can go for your MBA if you want, but you do need to have the 30 extra credits of accounting, of mainly accounting, like upper level accounting courses, for you to be able to sit for your CPA. Even if you don't plan on working for public, I would just recommend getting your 150 credits and being CPA eligible, because like for me, my new job that I'm going to be working for, they require for you to get promoted, you need to have your CPA. So it's always recommendable you be eligible to sit. So if you can sit, if you're eligible to sit, like a lot of jobs, if they want to hire you, they will pay for the exam for you. Billy Covilla also asked me, is there any requirements to get an internship? Obviously you need to be, like with accounting at least, you need to be majoring in accounting, or finance, or have a certain amount of accounting courses. Obviously have reasonable grades. A C here and there won't hurt you, but try to have a good GPA, at least a 3.0 or above. Make sure you are involved in other activities, just being an overall good person, being involved in activities at school. If you have any, like if you were a cashier or if you worked in anything that involves money, that's a good thing to put on your resume. Things like that will help you. There are no specific requirements, I guess. It just, depending on who's recruiting you and what you're looking for, if they feel like you're a good fit, then they'll hire you. And I know people who got hired as full-time staff without doing internships with the Big Four, so you should be okay. Yeah, and then Mason Brown also asked me about like working 80 hours as an intern. Yes, I was working like crazy hours as an intern, but then again, like that's overtime pay. Like, so I was literally making like double, like as an intern, you make more than what staffed employees make with overtime. So definitely take advantage of that if you're an intern. Sensation asked if I enjoy my accounting job. Yes, I enjoy my accounting job. Jebis Fury said, good luck with your job. Thank you. Vernisha Pilar asked if I can give some advice for someone upcoming as an accountant when working in the business field. So just make sure accounting is what you want to do. A lot of people think that accountants are like dull and boring. There are so many aspects in accounting that people can do and work in. Like, you can be an accountant, you can do accounts payable, you can do accounts receivable, or you can do auditing. And I think being an auditor is the funner part of accounting. You get to see a lot. You get to see how, like, either internally or externally, how the company works. Like, it's really cool. And when you're an auditor, it's easier for you to be an auditor and then eventually go into other finance roles. Like, as an auditor, after leaving public or whatever, you can become a CFO, you can become a controller, you can become a VP of finance. You can do so much, because as having an audit background, you know all parts of accounting. And I think that's a little bit of an advantage than doing finance or just being an accountant per se. She said, like, fresh out of college, what are some things I need to start practicing now to become better? Practice time management, practice communication, how to write emails, and just how to get along with difficult people. You're gonna be on teams where you're not always gonna like the people on your team, but just how to get along with them for sure. And just how to work under a stressful situation. But overall, there are things like you won't be able to learn until you start the job. So I hope I answered everybody's questions. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to comment down in this video below or in my previous videos, and just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer you guys' questions. So good luck to all of you guys pursuing accounting majors or accounting careers. No matter what you do in accounting, you will be successful. And until next time.